beautiful people. Happiest of Tuesdays and welcome to the Miss Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best, but you probably already figured that out. We are here to go over 90 Day Fiancé Season 12, Episode 11, appropriately titled Meeting the Family. Welcome in. Shout out to our replay gang. I do appreciate y'all and see you guys watching when we are no longer live. Welcome in. I hope you guys consider liking the video, hyping the video. It does help out a lot. Subscribing to the channel, all of those good things. You can also leave super chats and all of that now if you want. And I am working on memberships, which I do not want to charge for, but I'm going to be working on memberships so I can get like special content out to those who are subscribed. That's like exclusive to y'all. So I'm very excited about that. But let's get into 90 Day. Let's greet our moderators and those in the chat. Hello, Shani. James just covers 90 Day before the 90 days. I don't think he even watches 90 Day Fiancé. I don't think he even watches 90 Day Fiancé. You are always the first. I appreciate you. AB, we missed you. We were on James's channel. When I say at one point, the whole live was like, where's American Born? Where's American Born? Where is AB? You are loved and your presence was missed yesterday. I hope that you are having a good day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all, 90 Day Fiancé, I don't know how many episodes they're going to do this season, but based on the couples that we have, wrap it up, 90 Day. Wrap it up, TLC. Please wrap it up. My goodness. Now, we're going to start with Marissa and Edward. Marissa is doing damage control on the internet because she's realizing that she's coming off as an obnoxious white lady that expects everyone else to change for her, but she's not willing to change for anyone else. Marissa, you can't fix that. It is what it is. We see you on TV. Now, some of it can be the edit, but the other half of it can be you're disrespectful and a little bit, maybe just a little bit prejudiced from what I've seen, just a little bit. Now, Marissa is so dumb. She quit that good job at the bridal place. Why? Did she really, AB? Why would she quit? I don't understand. I don't understand why she would quit. You were filming there. She's been there for many years. But at the same time, CEOs don't always last the longest. So maybe that's a part of why. But I don't understand why she quit. There's a piece of hair that is bothering me. And I just don't know what to do with it. Okay, there. That's better. That's better, y'all. Y'all know I got ADHD or something. Okay, there. Fix my weave. Anywho, that is crazy if she did quit her job, but Marissa comes from money, and I know that she has worked for a long time as well. So I'm sure if she quit her job, she's okay, but I hope she has a good reason. She decided to launch 2 businesses and thought they would take off from the show exposure. Marissa, maybe if you were on Bravo, it would have blown up. But I always say, if you're doing reality TV on OWN, if you're doing reality TV on WeTV or TLC, they're kind of like the trash reality TV. You're more likely to make more money elsewhere. Go to Netflix, go to Hulu, do a show there, Bravo, but that's crazy if that's the reason she quit. She is claiming she isn't as rich as people think. I mean, she has some audacity. You claiming to not be as rich as people think, but all this heifer done talked about since we met her was her riches, her income, all that she has, the fact that her family has money. And then her ex-husband seemed to feel like the money that she has is problematic. I know you got money if you can afford an apartment in New York and also a full house in $1 million neighborhood in Pennsylvania. Marissa, you ain't fooling nobody. You got money. You may not be rich, but you're definitely rich enough to afford that high New York rent. Okay? And it looked like she has an apartment in Manhattan, which I've heard is one of the more expensive boroughs. Girl, don't understand it. American Boy said, and why take Edward to hang out with bougie people? I was really annoyed with that. Let's actually get into that. I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm really glad you brought that up. She probably dropped that apartment. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know why they say the Bay Area is so expensive because in San Francisco, if you want a 1-bedroom apartment, you're looking at I would say anywhere from 2,600 to 5,000, depending on the neighborhood. And they say that's really expensive. But when I was looking at New York, because fun fact, I've always wanted to live in New York for like, not permanently, but I've always wanted to give New York like 2 to 5 years. Or I've always wanted to like live in New York, like have a house there that I go to part-time or any of that. But I was looking into the prices out there. I said, hell, I saw some 1 and 2 bedroom apartments for 9 to 15,000. And they had the audacity to put great deal. What? Let me shut my California ass up, because my God, expensive. American Board 2. They were looking for you, AB, yesterday. That's how you know AB is someone that spreads joy, someone that makes a mark. Like a lot of you are, but I'm sure AB was probably somewhere running around with them dogs. That's what I feel like happened. But I hope that all is okay, and we are glad to see you back, AB. We are glad to see you back. American Board's happening everywhere. Okay? I heard that. Live your life. Live your life, baby, because I know you be on YouTube a lot. So live your life when you can. Now, Marissa is taking Edward to see her friends. And she annoyed me. Now, if I take anyone somewhere and I'm like, hey, before we go in, don't talk too much about your passion of baseball and the only sport in your country. Don't talk about that. Also, don't talk about this. Don't say this. I want you to fit in. Don't do this. Girl. Now, I understand, right? Just nagging him. Shut up. And Marissa, the thing is, I do not dislike Marissa. I just don't like how she is so concerned with how everybody else feels about her that she is willing to ask someone that she is supposed to love to change and censor himself. If someone really loves you, they're not going to ask you to censor yourself. Now, my man is from the town. Shout out to Oakland, California. That's what we call it, the town. And I'm going to say this. Okay, one thing about men from the Bay, it could be at a black tie event. We could be somewhere with corporate people donating and all of that. If a song comes on, he might have to gig a little bit and pop his collar. It's just the way it goes. Like, sometimes people are going to be who they are, and you should not censor them just because of who they're around, especially if you don't have anything to lose. Now, if was asking these things of Edward and she was like trying to conduct business with these people, fine. But these are her friends. They're not on the clock. So there's no reason that she should have been asking Edward to do all of that. Someone said they got married, and I'm shocked. I follow Edward on Facebook, and I do think that they are married because he is very much so still in the States. And he seems really sweet, but he hasn't said anything too negative about Marissa. So I do think that there's probably still together, which is crazy. Shani said, in the words of Bernie Mac, shut the up. Okay. I love Bernie Mac. I still be watching reruns of the Bernie Mac show when my husband's asleep. He said, strong man, black man. I love Bernie Mac. Love him. R.I.P. to Bernie Mac. Now they go in and he's mingling with the groups of friends, and they're asking, like, what do you do? And he's like, I don't do anything, but I want to get something started for my business. And I said, Edward, you ain't got to lie to kick it. Don't pretend what you do. She been telling these people that she met somebody who worked for her at the hotel, the all-inclusive that she was at. She ended up sleeping with the staff, okay? So they already know your background and stuff. Never pretend to be somebody that you're not. I hate people who do that. I cannot stand people who do that. When my friends do that, I'm not going to say which friends, but I have a lot of friends that do that. Don't be pretending to be something that you're not. It's always easier to just sell yourself, Edward. But he seemed to be talking and mingling well with her friends, and he learns that they're financial advisors. Some of them run hedge funds, work in insurance, finance. Just more confirmation I got the wrong degree. I want to go into healthcare and help people and stuff. I should have got a damn financial degree because these people got money. Okay. All the healthcare workers I see, we all on BART. But everything is going well. And she comes over and she discovers that he's talking about his country. And she was really upset about that. He is from his country. He is allowed to speak about the sport. And it's nice to hear something from Edward because we haven't gotten to know much of Edward because all Marissa does is try to change him while he's on this show. And if they are married, I'm hoping that Marissa is learning from like her past relationships and mistakes and sees like, relax a little bit, because she's really not that bad. She's not that bad. She just needs to get a foundation that matches, put her hair up, and relax when it comes to Edward. She's not that bad outside of that. Now, everything was going okay, but Marissa goes and talks to her friends, and she was nervous about Edward meeting them. And the friends are like, but why? And she explains that she has had trouble matching Edward intellectually. She says that being with him, she does not feel mentally stimulated, and she feels like their connection could just be something that is physical, and she craves intellectual conversations. Now, I know the internet is coming down on her for this. I didn't like it either, but I also understood where she was coming from. I cannot be with somebody who I am just physically attracted to. I need for you to have a brain. Example, I have my degree and I've always worked towards getting a degree. When I wasn't doing this, I went to vet tech school. I completed medical assisting school. I'm always trying to do something to stimulate my brain. I enjoy documentaries and nature specials. I'm weird. My husband, not so much. Okay, the man is a way. Go scream also best. B3ST, just like my dad. But he wasn't interested in school, did not care to read, all of those things. Now in real time, after being with me for damn near 20 years, the man has opened up to reading and enjoys documentaries and certain things. But he wasn't interested in college and all of that. I got my degree. He didn't have one. I still felt intellectually stimulated. So I know it came off really bad on TV with Marissa and Edward because she said it that way. But I don't feel like she was calling him dumb or trying to say that he's less intelligent. I do feel like she just craves a conversation about more, but I think it's unrealistic and unfair of her to expect that when he's only been in the country for like a month or two. Like, he can't stimulate your brain when he's still learning the language. I mean, he was talking to the friends and he made a comment. They were like, so do you cook or does she cook? He's like, what is cook? What is cook? You know, like they had to explain to him what this is. Edward is highly intelligent. He just there's a language barrier. He's still learning English. Everything is totally different. So I just feel like Marissa needs to give him grace. But at the same time, I also feel like Marissa, the way that she speaks about him is disrespectful. And it's like, you could feel how you feel about him, but maybe not say he can't intellectually stimulate you on TV. Also, I have noticed that Marissa seems to expect Edward to integrate to her life because he's coming over here. But I have not seen how she is trying to make him comfortable or, you know, move around for him aside from the bathroom. That doesn't count. So she can't just expect Edward to come into her life and integrate. She needs to also make him comfortable and be willing to come into his space. Like, how's it going to look when Marissa meets his family and goes to the Dominican Republic to see them? They're not rich. Is she going to require that they stay at a hotel and drive hella far to where he lives, or what? Those are the questions I more so have. But I think that Marissa just needs to be honest with Edward, because if you don't know if you want to marry him and are concerned you did the wrong thing, then you need to tell him that. I never understand why people sit in relationships and don't communicate how they're feeling about stuff. Like, that's stupid and that's toxic. But she's more concerned about how everybody feels about him versus, you know, him being okay. And I genuinely just do not like that. But let me know how you guys feel, Replay Gang. If you think I'm wrong, all of those things, let me know how y'all feel about Marissa. Because it's like, she hasn't done anything horrible, but she's kind of a bitch to Edward. And she's admitted to being a bitch to Edward. So I don't want to attack her because it's like she knows she's doing this. I just need to see her make some change. That's all. Edward wants that soft life no matter what. Look, that is true. Marissa's mom, I don't know if you saw AB, Marissa's mom was talking about how everyone's coming for her, but Edward has had an American girlfriend before and suddenly fell out of love when he discovered his ex was not rich. So he said, if I'm leaving my country, I'm leaving here with something. You better make sure that you're giving me a good life. It does give, he wants the soft life. And since this show has filmed, respectfully, Edward, you better have a motherfucking job. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're driving Uber, delivering DoorDash, Uber Eats. You better have a job. Okay? Something. Shani says she feels like she's too good for him. That's what I think it is. I feel like we're watching her like internal struggle of like feeling like she's rich enough and uppity enough to like not like need to be with someone like him. Like she still has that prejudice that all people are guilty of some type of prejudice or judgmental, you know, or being judgmental. It's just not everybody's able to identify it or admit it. At least she can admit how she is. At least. Just need her to change her actions now. Then why did you bring that man back here? For fuck's sakes. Listen. That is the question I think that all of us have for Marissa. Why did you bring that man back here if he was not what you wanted, or if you believe that you are better than him or can live your life to a better standard? Like it doesn't make sense. It genuinely makes no sense. This part. His eggplant emoji is massive, okay? Because that's the only way a woman with money is going to stay with somebody with no money. Unless there's true love there, but I don't think they have full love yet. American born to it probably hooks to the left after the surgery, and that's what she likes. Not the penis hooking to the left. Captain Hook to the left. Oh my God. I saw that. It proves my point. Edward, go uptown and sweep up that barbershop. Listen, Edward, call Shani. Okay? Shani is a true New Yorker. She's truly from the East Coast. Call Shani. She gonna tell you where to go. Marissa can't help you. Go find your people. And they will help you out, okay? Find your community. If you are still here and you are watching our replay, I hope that you consider liking the video. If you are here right now, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Now, unfortunately, we have to discuss Katie and Josh. And I was really disappointed because in this episode with Katie and Josh, they are preparing to come to the Bay Area to visit Katie's family. And I said, God damn it. Why does she have to be from here? Why does she have to be from here? Ugh. So Katie is from Alameda. I live in Oakland, aka Alameda County. Alameda is a city that is adjacent to Oakland. There's a little tiny bridge that you go over. There's like, I would say one way in and one way out. You can get into Alameda from downtown Oakland, and you can get into Alameda from East Oakland. That's it. It is an island. It is not supposed to be there. If you ever come to the Bay Area, you guys, Emeryville, California, which has the highest crime rate in the country, which is crazy. Emeryville, California, and Alameda are cities that are built on man-made islands. They literally diverted and filled the bay to make a city. Now, Alameda is a place that is known to, like, if you black, you likely gonna get pulled over. But it's also beautiful. We go to the beach there. I enjoy Alameda. The clear people in Alameda, the white people there, the melanin redacted, they are very liberal, like hella liberal. When you think of California and Democrats and liberal people, Alameda, California is definitely where they're at. So I'm not surprised that Katie is in Portland. A lot of people years ago, like before everybody in the Bay Area was leaving the Bay to go to Texas and Vegas, it used to be where everyone left the Bay Area to move to Colorado, specifically the Denver area, Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington. Now, Katie probably went to Portland like everybody else, but her being from Alameda, another local thing is we like to say that the melanin redacted there kind of give like hippie vibes. So it does make sense that Katie would end up in Oregon and loves running and gets into the things that she gets into. But meeting her parents was definitely interesting, and it told us a lot more about Katie than we needed to know. Now, before they can even get to her family, we learned that Katie is Lutheran. My grandmother switched to the Lutheran church because she said that as she got older, the Baptist church was too much and she just want a quiet place to praise the Lord. Y'all, my Nana is something else, but I love her. So I have been to a Lutheran church before. It's very quiet, very like chill. I was surprised to find out that Katie is Lutheran though, because they are kind of like, I don't want to say like strict in their beliefs or overly conservative, but I was like, not you deep in the church, Katie, and growing up in church, but you want to go make out and sleep with all these random people while you're in a relationship. Lord, not only you doing the premarital sex, which they don't like, but then you're doing it with everybody while in a relationship. My goodness. Now, Katie expects for Josh to come to church with her, and she mentions this because they're going to see her parents. Her parents are extremely Lutheran. They're very devout. And it seems like Josh has made it clear. He's like, my family's not the most religious. I don't really care to raise my kid in a religion. If they find that on their own, they find it on their own, but he doesn't care about that. And Katie wants her child to be raised Lutheran. So you want to teach your child hypocrisy, because how you going to say you want your baby to be raised Lutheran while you out here doing everything opposite of what a Lutheran woman will be doing? Stop it, Katie. Stop it. I don't know why people play with God like this. I don't know why people play with God like this. That'd be like when Portia Williams years and years ago, after Flatline, was acting like she was going to put out a gospel song, girl, bye. Like, I don't know why people like to play with God on 90 Day Fiancé, but okay, Katie. Now, he seems against religion. She wants religious children. But I'm like, why are y'all discussing children when y'all barely could get to the altar? Like, Katie and Josh are both a little, like, delusional. Now, they get to the airport, but before they could get to the airport, I guess they booked the early flight. They are having problems because Katie's like, my OCD, it's a lot for me to fly, and it's slowing me down. Bitch, stop lying about having OCD. You ain't got no OCD. You don't have it. You don't. Stop lying to people. And if she had OCD, her parents would have said it. And neither parent said that Katie has OCD. They just said that she's bossy and difficult. So I don't even think she has OCD. And as somebody who grew up with Katie has come out online and has been saying that she is full of shit and does not have OCD. Now, they get to the airport, and Josh wants to get to the airport early and on time. Most people do. But I don't like how Katie used her OCD to ignore the fact that Josh made it clear that he gets anxiety around travel and flying. And so he likes to be there on time, which is understandable. Now, they fly into Mineta, or I think they changed the name. Mineta is the San Jose, California International Airport. I don't know why she flew into Mineta. Now, if we look at a map, you guys, Alameda and Oakland are basically the same thing. Alameda is just an island that's literally next to Oakland. Like, I can get on my bike right now and get to Alameda in a few minutes. Like, it is not far at all. The Oakland International Airport is an airport in Oakland that literally is the third way that you can get into Alameda. If you go on the back street behind the airport, you can get to Alameda through there. Why she would fly into San Jose Airport baffled me. Here's the thing. The San Jose Airport, San Jose from Oakland, California, is a 45-minute drive. Okay? That's without traffic. With traffic, it takes a lot longer. That's why I say I'll never fucking get a job in San Jose. I'm not commuting that far. San Jose is far. It's like the end of the Bay Area, right? Because then you got Campbell, and then it turns to Santa Cruz, and that's not the Bay Area. So why would you fly into an airport that requires you to get in an Uber in the Bay Area, where to go down the street somewhere you can walk, your Uber gonna be $30? Why would you pay for an Uber from San Jose during rush hour, because they flew in the morning, all the way to Alameda? What's wrong with you, Katie? Now, maybe she didn't want anybody to know where she lived, and maybe a lot of melanin redacted people be scared to fly into Oakland because they're like, oh, we're going to have to go through the hood, because the Oakland airport, as well as where the Warriors used to play the old A's and Raiders Stadium, it's in the hood. It's in my hood, Deep East Oakland. It is in the hood. But it's like, it's safe, but it's not. Your biggest problem will be getting like your car broken into if you leave stuff in it. But I don't understand why they would. Now, American Born, you could be correct. The tickets at Mineta are sometimes cheaper, but because it serves the San Jose area, and that is the area where Google and the Silicon Valley is, it tends to be actually more expensive. So I don't understand why she would do that. She could have also flew into the San Francisco airport. Little bit more of a headache, but that would have been closer than San Jose. I didn't understand what she was doing. I think she just didn't want to go through the hoods, because even the San Francisco airport, like, it's not in San Francisco, it's near South City. The hood is nearby. So I don't know why Katie did what she did, but I was really like, my teeth were itching with their travel plans. I'm like, now why would you do that? But hey, what can we do? It could have also been that a lot of big airports don't go to the Oakland airport. It is a smaller airport. It could have been that. But I was looking at her like, girl, you're not making any sense. Cheapest airport to fly out of. If you ever come to the Bay Area, y'all, friendly fun fact from a local. SFO is usually the cheapest to fly into. It's usually the cheapest to fly into, but I digress. Now they get to her parents and they didn't have anything good to say. Her dad said, it's always nice when Katie comes home, but we get to be around her. Then after the third day, we're annoyed. So dad said after day 3, he want her to fuck out of his face. And her mom was like, Katie has always had trouble with friends, but she did not say it's OCD. She said that Katie is bossy, self-centered, and problematic. I don't think this girl had OCD. I really don't. Her parents would have said that. Her parents would have said that. If I put my mom on TV, she's going to be like, Amina has always been a little sensitive, struggles with anxiety. So we try to because I have really bad anxiety. I have anxiety disorder. Also get panic attacks real bad sometimes. But if you genuinely have a struggle, your parents are going to know about it, especially if you're claiming it to be a lifelong struggle. Her parents, they say shit about an OCD. Now, Josh looks like he'll get along with the parents, but I'm curious to see what will happen with the rest of their trip to her mama and daddy. However, I now understand why Katie drinks so much, because Alameda has some of the best beer. That's it, and that's all. But let's get into the comments, because there wasn't much with Katie this time. Her mom did tell her, you need to be nicer to him. And her mom seemed to think that Katie was a problem when she tried to talk to her about the problems that they had at the airport. And she told her mom, she was like, but I apologize. I apologized. And her mom was like, it's good you apologize, because he is deserving of that. And he is deserving of being treated right. So that told me that Katie be on bullshit. Joshy, I want you to talk to her parents so you understand what you're getting yourself into, because her parents look like the type of people who going to tell you what's what and not hold back, okay? And I appreciate that in them. They know their daughter's a little off, and they seem to hope that people could deal with her. Katie's doing everything she can to try to get him to break up with her, and it's not working. She is. She do not want this man, but I don't understand. Just break up with him. Josh is on the run from someone or something to marry that skank. I think that his family might be trying to bring their business to the US, because he said he had shares, and he seems very determined to focus on that versus being with her, because I don't know a soul on the planet that will put up with what he puts up with Katie. I think her parents spoiled her growing up and never told her no, and always told her she was right and smart, and it backfired. I don't think they ever disciplined her either. Honestly, I agree. It sounds like other people always tell her about herself. A lot of kids in Alameda are spoiled. They have money. So you probably spot on. Her parents were weird. She looks just like her dad and talks and even blinks like him. I don't know why she looks confused blinking at people when talking. It bothers me. He's desperate to get away and get to the States. That's why he's messing with the slam pig. Oh, yes, because Shanny be calling her an SP. Shout out to, what was her name? Rosie over there on Housewives of Rhode Island. Shout out to her. Shout out to her. And on the back, it needs to say the original, not the original. Bitch, you don't have OCD. You probably have an STD. Shanny. Shanny, I cannot. She is probably immune to some antibiotics with all the STDs she has had. Not my moderators cutting up in the chat. See, I tell everybody in the bush is afraid to comment. You can always comment, okay? Even my moderators acted up. But our good sis Kiwan JTV is not here to put us in the bushes or into the corner. So I'm going to let them be. Why not? Why not? I wouldn't touch her with your hand and me put. Y'all remember that disease that used to go around, the kissing disease? I think it was called mono. I'm surprised she ain't caught that yet. I really think she's trying to rush and get married because she's got some trust some trust fund somewhere. And like you said, Josh is trying to get away from someone. Whatever it is, it definitely works for them. We're not friends though, Mo. Josh is a moron, and so is she. So who knows what they are up to. Something's wrong with him to stay with her, though. I do agree with that. I definitely do agree with that. I do. It sounds to me like the parents were saying Katie is annoying. Yes, but they didn't say because of a disability like OCD. So that tells me that Katie just be full of it, saying whatever she can to make herself look and feel better. I haven't seen the trailer for the new Housewives of New York. I have not. I haven't. Honestly, I haven't really heard anything about Roni, but I will definitely go look into it. If it looks good, I'd cover it. I used to love Roni, and then I just started disliking it when that lady took off her leg. I can't remember her name right now. Why can't I remember her name right now? It's on the tip of my tongue. But I stopped caring after those seasons, and I do not care for Ramona's racist self. And Bethany started to get on my nerves, but I used to love Roni. That was actually what brought me to Bravo. It was the Housewives of New York and Orange County. They were the first things I had watched. I saw Vicky years ago crashing out over a doggone minivan coming to pick her and her kids up. And then Roni, I remember seeing Bethany when she was newer, and Alex, I think was her name, and Simon. They're still married, by the way. She just got a doctorate. But I was like, these people are fascinating and weird. And it made me really want to watch Bravo as a whole. Y'all, I got to turn my camera off for just a moment. As you already know, I have to clock out of my job before my supervisor is like, why are you working overtime? So I got to do what I got to do. A housewife took off her leg. Yes, Shady. She took off her leg. She sure did. She sure did. But let me know, to those of you guys who watch my Housewives reviews, if you are interested in me covering the Housewives of New York, I will happily do that. Just let me know. I'll put up a poll on the channel after this live to kind of get into that. But I am definitely open to covering the Housewives of New York if it's not problematic and racist. I am totally open to that. American Born 2, you need to friend me on Instagram and TikTok if you have it. And thank you for the link. So that's all we really got for Katie and Josh. What the heck? My bra is driving me crazy, y'all. Finally came on the internet with a bra and it's getting on my nerves. Now, the next people we're going to discuss is Debbie and Mido. Debbie and Mido, Debbie, there's no reason to be your age and this insecure. I don't know if Debbie has heard this from any recappers though, but you are beautiful. You are worthy. You deserve somebody who gets as excited as for you as you do for them. And you look like you can provide. So I hope that you could find, and you deserve somebody who can at least match your income level instead of looking at pictures of himself that you paid for. It makes me really sad to see someone like Debbie, who's really successful and has what some people would consider it all. But Debbie, her self-esteem is in the gutter. Her self-esteem is in the gutter. I just want Debbie to do better and realize that she's worth more. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and obviously Mido ain't looking and ain't tripping. Okay, can't stand them. Are you or James gonna do Housewives of Orange County? I don't do Housewives of Orange County. It's too MAGA for me. I'm not gonna lie, but also there's not enough color on that cast. I didn't like what they did to Katie last season, so I'm genuinely over OC. I think OC is dead. I know it's their 20-year anniversary, but they're boring as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Debbie, fuck Mido. Spend your time and your money on your dog. That's what I do. Okay? Mido don't behold shit. Naughty doesn't behold nothing. I cannot. Now, Debbie and Mido have been beefing ever since they got into it on Halloween. And She says that the way that she's been fixing everything is through avoiding serious conversations, which is crazy, which is absolutely insane. You're not going to fix stuff by avoiding talking about the things that matter. And anybody who does that is delusional, absolutely delusional. That is not the way. You have to communicate in order to fix stuff. You just do. You just do. But I get why Debbie's doing that, because he acts like a fucking child. And sometimes with a kid, you just don't say much and you just let it be. Just let it be. Now, things are better and they're getting along, but she's concerned because he hasn't proposed. And we see a scene of himself looking into a mirror. Hold on. This was Mito sitting on the carpet in her living room in front of her mirror like this. You talking to me? Are you talking to me? I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And why are you doing it? Stop it, Mito. This is weird. This is weird. I'm in mental health. I'm getting a graduate degree in psych. I want to study him for my final project. I really do. Why are you looking, first of all, this close to yourself in the mirror? Why is this man always looking at himself? And when he's not looking at himself in the mirror, he's looking at headshots of himself that Debbie paid for. If you don't go look at this woman, what is wrong with him? I don't understand Mito. Why are we looking at ourselves in the mirror that much? I like how I look too, but damn. I'm sure Denzel knows he's fine. Since Mito want to be like Denzel Washington, Denzel know he fine. He don't be in the mirror like this. When has looking at yourself, he literally looks at himself this fucking close. And I'm like, Mito, okay, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. It's true. Now fucking stop. He spent more time looking at himself than practicing his acting or going on auditions. If I really had a passion and I was Mito and I finally got to a country where I could work towards my goals, okay, I'm not just going to be sitting in the house looking at myself. I'm going to go get a job so that I can get to LA whenever the fuck I feel like it and be auditioning for stuff. I can't stand them. Oh, I'm not trying to be mean. But Mito is a fucking loser. It take a lot for me to just say that somebody just thoroughly ain't shit. I'm not going to like him. I'm not going to be kind. I don't have shit for him. This is ridiculous. I don't even want to call him a queen because it's an insult to our queens, our drag queens, our actual queens. It's an insult to those who believe that they are queens. Like, I don't even want to say that. I feel like Mito would do better with men, but I don't even want to say and put him onto the gay community. They don't deserve that. They got enough problems. Okay? They got enough minds to change. Mito is just, can't stand him. Mito is draining all her money, I bet, now that they are married. Debbie, you better leave everything to your kids. He gives me the ick as well. Can't stand Mito. He makes my motherfucking teeth itch. Something vicious. Hello, Olivia. Happiest of Tuesdays. Welcome back. I'm late. I should have had this review done yesterday, but you are here, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. We are happy to see you here. I hope you had a good day. Olivia said Mito is the definition of narcissist. Yeah, and psychosis. Narcissism, psychosis, all of it wrapped up in one. He's awful. He only wants to be an actor and thinks he is going to be a star. Just a joke. I agree. And the acting coach has said to him, because at one point in the episode, he was talking to an acting coach, and the acting coach was like, I'm not fucking with you until you go learn how to speak English. Which some people may be like, oh, that's harsh. If you're going to be an actor in American film, then Americans need to understand what you're saying. Now, he does speak English very well, but I'm assuming his acting coach wants him to speak English maybe a little bit more fluently so that he can get roles that will align with his goals. Because he said he want to be like Denzel, Tom Cruise. I said, oh, you all over the place. Okay, you want to be running on buildings like Mission Impossible and holding hospitals hostage like in John Q and going on ride-alongs in the hood like in Training Day. You gotta work on your English. You just do. Lord. Hot Mess Express. Hot Mess Express. Olivia said, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Mito does like give the corniness, actually, now that you mention it, of the guy. What was it, Lord Farquaad in Shrek? I feel so bad saying that. I love a Disney movie. I know Shrek is, I think, DreamWorks or something, but I love a cartoon. Okay. And I don't know why Mito reminds me of Lord Farquaad. Like, he feels so big, but he's just small. Like, I think that was his name in the movie. I can't remember. I haven't watched Shrek in years. I used to love Shrek. Debbie suffers from extreme loneliness. She does. And I'm wondering if her daughter is there, but her daughter probably like is working or studying or something. But I do think she's lonely. I like Debbie a lot. I just don't like that she's settling for Mito. Like, that part really irks me. It really irks me. He's a queen. Debbie don't like us calling him Queen Mito, but that's what he act like. Debbie has a son too, but guess he let his mama run wild. If she raised her son in New Orleans, it would make a lot of sense. Okay, the men out there, no shade, they look good, but that's about it. And the only reason he wants to be famous is so people praise him. Yep, clock it. Textbook narcissist. Except he's a joke. We're laughing at him. He wants the fame and the money like Tom Cruise and Denzel Washington and Keanu Reeves. I love Keanu Reeves. Love, love, love him. That's the kind of actor. Yep, he absolutely does. Yeah, check her ID. She got a son in his 20s. I know her son is stressed out. I know her son is stressed out the game dealing with Debbie. Now, nothing really happens. He goes to Debbie after talking with his agent and lets her know, in order for me to be an actor, I need to get my acting classes and my English classes. So that tells me you can't act and you don't speak English well enough to act, according to the agent. And Debbie, the one thing Debbie did that was smart, but you shouldn't have to do this in a relationship. Well, I'm not taking care of any of that until we figure out this wedding, because Debbie and Mito have 30 days before the K1 visa time is up. So they have to get married or he has to ship it back to Egypt. And so Debbie is trying to stay focused on that. And Mito doesn't care. So she's like, we have to focus on the wedding before we could get to that. And he's like, okay, that is fine. Because that's all he says when she talks about love, marriage, affection, or anything. He don't got nothing else to say. Now, she takes him to a chapel in New Orleans, a little cute little chapel. And she says that she's taking him there to consider the marriage. She tells the lady at the chapel they have about 3 weeks to get this done. Mito looked like he saw a ghost, and not Casper the ghost, the one that's going to sing songs and dance and do things for you. Okay, he looked like he saw one of them ghosts from like The Conjuring or Insidious or one of the movies that make us scared. Okay, that's what he looked like he saw. His eyes got so wide when she said 3 weeks. He looked panicked. He does not want to marry this woman. And it's fucking stupid because you're on a fucking K1 visa, dumbass. I don't understand what's wrong with him. I don't understand what's wrong with Mito. You are on a K1 visa. They gave you this visa off the strength that you would get married in 90 days. Your 90 days is almost up. What the fuck did you expect? To just stay here illegally? Once that visa expires, even if you marry Debbie under the Trump administration, they will still ship your ass back to Egypt, especially when your skin has a natural tan of any sort. Okay? They will ship your ass out. So I don't understand what Mito's thinking. I feel like he thinks he's smart enough to scam the government or something like that. But Debbie's talking about the wedding, and Mito looks at her and he's like, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about going back to Egypt. And Debbie walked out of there, and I said, oh, she about to crash out. She walked out of there, made sure the door was closed, and was in tears. She dropped down to her knees in tears. I felt bad for her, but I don't. Why are you dropping down to your knees in tears when everyone else's 90-day episode of their spouse coming into the country, they saw each other and gave hugs at the airport? Debbie was sitting at the bottom of them stairs at Louis Armstrong International Airport in tears for hours, hoping that he came by. Mido, you could have sent her a text while you went through customs. You could have done something, okay? But he didn't do any of that. This has not been good from the start. This is pathetic, and I want all women, old and young, to do better. There is no reason for you to beg for somebody and to be in tears for somebody like this, whether you're getting married in a day, next week, or a year. If someone wants to marry you, they'll do it. Debbie, you should have sent his ass back home after he acted a fool on Halloween. Mido is horrible, terrible. I would be okay if he was deported because I truly believe he is using this lady. And listen, you want to be in America? All good. Come to America. Don't come to America lying, backstabbing, and pretending to be something that you're not and that you cannot provide to an American. That's wrong. That's wrong anywhere. So I don't like what, what's going on with them, but what can we do, y'all? What can we do? What can we do? Olivia says, when she first introduced Mido, she said she was lonely and not much was going on. She literally just needs some hobbies and she'd be good. It doesn't seem like she does much. Like she's always vacuuming that house. I think she just needs something to do. That's a good point. I agree with that. He acts like she's his acting sponsor. Did she promise him that prior? I think that she has been promising him stuff though, because she's like, we'll take care of that. I'll help you with that. I feel like Debbie is using her funds to keep in. It's sad, but he treats her like shit, so I don't get why she'd fall in love. There's no love there. This doesn't even give romantic relationship. They act like coworkers. Another content creator had a take that Debbie is the one telling Mido she would help him with his dreams if he comes to the US, and she's the one flipping it into a relationship. Ooh, which content creator was that? I would love to subscribe to their channel because that's a really good point. And that demonstrates some great critical thinking because we have been looking at Debbie like she is the victim, but it doesn't make sense for him to act how he acts and treat her the way he does and for her to still let him be there unless there was some sort of agreement or something that she sold to him, because she acted like he's a big star and has all these people on Instagram, but never posts me. But then it's like, Debbie, an IMDb search would have told you Egypt, America, all of that he ain't no real actor. That's a good point. Shout out to that content creator. That's a great point. American Born 2, is she lonely? She needs to dump Mido and go get another dog. Oh, Lord. Yeah, that does make sense, Olivia. That content creator is spot on. Spot on. That's why I enjoy coming to YouTube, especially to like other content creators, not the huge, like overly popular ones, because they're going to give you their opinion versus trying to keep the stars on the show liking them so they can get interviews and stuff. I don't care about all of that. I'm dragging everybody. But I love that. That's a really good perspective. A really good one. American Born right because it's getting weird. She was willing to commit marriage fraud and promised to help him with his career. That's why he isn't affectionate. That isn't part of the deal. Clock it. He has literally never said, I loved her. That's enough proof. She keeps begging for an I love you. Why are you trying to marry someone who does not love you? That's crazy. I'm not begging to marry nobody who can't even give me an I love you. Makes no sense. She's tricking herself. Yep. That's why it's good to watch other reviewers, other perspectives, because sometimes hearing a bunch of different perspectives will help us to like figure out what's really going on, or at least get close to what's really going on. He has no acting credits because he was just sitting in the cafe when they started filming and refused to leave. That's why. Shitty. Not that's why he's on film. I cannot. But good luck, Debbie. We're going to come back to you next week, Debbie. But I don't know where they go from here. I really don't. Every time she reaches out to touch him, he pulls away. Like, no, don't put your old fingers on me, lady. He seems disgusted by her. I don't think he's a virgin either. I highly doubt that he's a virgin. Like, I highly doubt it. Mallory and Rosh, not much happened with them. They're having dinner with the friends and Brandon. They're eating deer meat. Can we not eat Bambi? Y'all act like y'all don't got grocery stores in Alabama. Like, can we not kill off the deer? My goodness. My goodness. Just a mess. AB said all that falling to the ground crying, miss me with that bullshit. He fucking in Egypt. He probably is. He probably is. I promise you he is. AB said, get up. Why are you on the ground? Get up. Hot Mess Express. Now, Mallory and Rosh are having dinner, and the prenup comes up. Mallory's like, maybe you guys can help Rosh understand about the prenup. And Brandon and them were like, no, he came across the world for you, and now you want him to sign a prenup? Hell yeah. Y'all ain't heard of international scams? It is a thing. Now, I appreciate the men for trying to be fair, but just because you fly across the world don't give you access to the shit that I had before you got here. Fuck that. Okay? Now, we gonna sign the prenup for anything she had before him, which is her settlement, her house. Absolutely, she should sign a prenup for that. Protect yourself, Mallory. You seem like you have a smart head on your shoulders. Don't listen to your friends. Do not listen to your friends here. But because they sided with Rosh, now suddenly Rosh doesn't hate Brandon. Because in real time, I believe Rosh is in Turkey and Mallory and him may not be together. But it looks like Rosh is willing to be okay with Brandon when Brandon is okay with Rosh having access to what Mallory has worked for. That I don't like. And Brandon and Rosh have a talk and they make peace. But Brandon, I know that you supported your friend and took care of her dogs, and I appreciate you for trying to play devil's advocate and not like take one side or the other, but something about Rosh is off. I don't trust him no more. At first I thought he was kind, but I think he's with this lady so she could pay for the family. I don't really have much to add because we didn't get much for them this episode, but I didn't understand why her friends would say that. Any of my friends, I don't care how great the person is. Hell, they could be from America. If James was to be like, should I get a prenup? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I don't care if they American, got more money than you. You get your prenup. I was talking to my husband. He said last night, he said, we believe in nuptials, okay? Prenups, post-nups, nups, all of it. I don't understand. I feel like Rosh is using Mallory. He's just a little smarter at how he's going about doing it, if that makes sense. But also Mallory and Rosh kind of bore me. Sorry, not sorry, y'all. Outside in his tight racing pants. Shitty. American born, yes, all of that. Overreacted. Girl, who's trying to be the actor in Hollywood here? You or him? Ooh. I praise that she stuck to her guns and made him sign the prenup, especially since he is back in Turkey and begging online every day, talking nasty. He's talking nasty? What is he saying online? Like, fill me in. Y'all know when I'm not on YouTube, I'm likely doing homework. So fill me in. I want to know. What did he say? Lord. Ross annoys me so bad. He seemed all right at first. I agree. At first he seemed okay, but he is annoying. He is. She's his meal ticket. That's all. He wants to be a kept man. Just a bitch, as we call them here in America. He knows what a prenup is. He knows exactly what that shit is about and entails. I agree, Shani. I think Rosh has an idea of a prenup and conveniently acts like he doesn't understand when it works for him. I've noticed that. He liked to play like there's a language barrier or a struggle when he needs something in his favor. But when he's mad or really wants something, he can understand everything. I don't fully trust Rosh. Don't trust them at all. Olivia says that makes sense because the content creator, Julian Higgins. Okay, thank you for that name. Post receipts of him flirting with girls in the DM. Ooh. And you know what else? I think that the next episode, from what they showed in the clip next week, it looks like Mallory is going to be upset about Rosh potentially talking to people in the DM. So that tracks. That definitely tracks. I am new to like covering 90 Day Fiancé. Like I've always watched it but never covered it. So I'm definitely always drop great content creators in the chat because I Miss Best like to watch them too. I don't even watch my own reviews, which James tells me I need to watch my own reviews, but it's like I was there. The fuck am I watching it for? But you know, I'm always down to watch other people's reviews. Oh, thank you, AB. Thank you. Ross also does after dark sexual stuff. What? There's sex on TikTok? Oh my God. On TikTok Live. Wow. I did not know you could post stuff like that on TikTok. What do you mean? After I don't even want to know. I'm just going to go to the bush and weep the way my auntie Ayanla said. That is crazy. He was flicking his tongue on the microphone saying nasty. Oh. What? My God. Okay. Okay, Rosh. And choking on his mic, making sexual noises? What? What in the actual huh? Oh. Oh. Oh my God. I'm in shambles hearing that. That's kind of who you could do that on live on social media. Rosh, there's something called OnlyFans. Somebody send Rosh the link to OnlyFans. That grosses me out. That's the guy everyone on the show goes after, Julian. Oh, they don't like Julian. Julian must be giving it real then. That make me want to subscribe to Julian. If they coming for him, I'm going over there. I'm definitely going to go and subscribe because that means he's giving the truth. Because I will never filter my opinion for these reality stars. They can ask. I'm not doing it. You chose to be on TV. You chose to be talked about. Oh, fucking well. That's how I think. He understands the damn language. Shandy's like, he understands. Shut the F up. I know you lying. What's his name on TikTok? Shandy said, I want to see. Oh my God. I cannot. Oh, Reality Rewatch. I feel like I do know that channel or I've seen it maybe on Instagram. Thank you, AB. Thank you. Shout out to you. Clip that. It'll help me clip it so I can get back to the live chat at this time, y'all. Okay, thank you. AB, you be pulling these links out your back pocket so quick. I love it. I think people ask him for that content in exchange for money. Okay. Well, maybe. Okay. All right, Rosh. We're going to move on to Ashia and Maxwell. I'm like over here traumatized. Ashia and Maxwell are in Nigeria. They get married. Now, she talks to his mother about some things, and it seems like his mama wants them to immediately start working on children because even though she says she's going to trust in the Lord with these nuptials, she also feel like Ashia's ovaries are old and she needs to get pregnant. Now, Ashia and his mom seem to get along really well, which I do like that aspect. I love that about people in the South, people in the, I don't know what to call it, the middle America states like Kentucky, Missouri, Kansas. I don't know what to call them states, but people there they really seem to value like family values. And I actually love that. I just would never live anywhere that a tornado comes. Absolutely the fuck not. I think it's stupid to have to rebuild every year, but that's just me. But she tells her godbrother, because they're trying to get people to fly out to Nigeria. I don't care who's getting married. You cannot call me and say, hey, take this 18 to 26 hour flight because I want to marry this guy so that he can maybe get into America. Like, no. But she's having certain people in her family fly out to Nigeria. She calls her godbrother Rod. Now, we like Rod on this channel because Rod gives it to Ashia straight. She told him she's getting married. He said, bitch, are you dumb? I said, oh. And she says she knows that he responds like this. This is just the first time that she has been on the receiving end of Rod's anger. I'm with Rod. Act right. Don't know what to tell you. Act right. Nothing else happened with Ashia and this man. Ashia, I'm sorry. I think you play with God. I think it's going to come back on you in some way. I think that God is trying to show you that this man may not be the person for you. And you are trying to ignore it. Oh, I felt like I was going to sneeze. I hate when that happens. But nothing is happening. I have the worst allergies on the planet. My God. I really thought I was going to sneeze. My eyes started watering, my nose tickled. Nothing happened. Just a sniffle. Lord help me. But nothing happened. Rod is pissed off and called her all types of dumb bitches. I'm not mad. Normally, I'd be like, why are you talking to a woman like that? But I feel like Ashia is always doing stupid shit. And so people respond to her stupid shit with their anger. Not mad at her at all for that, or him at all for that. But Ashia, you shouldn't be here. You should be on before the 90 days. I don't like how you change this man. I don't like how you treat this man. And I think the reason you couldn't find a husband in America is because you're problematic. I ain't sending him no damn money. I just want to watch for free. We know Shanny. Shanny said, I ain't got it. Rashid Kabaki. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not Turkish. I'm just a black girl in Oakland. I'm sorry. That's his name on TikTok. AB got everything. AB, you are the moderator of the year. Okay? Those parents need to get out her womb, though. I agree with that. I agree. But also, I feel like Ashia has to understand you're dating a Nigerian. The same way she wants him to adjust to her culture, she has to adjust to his culture. And in Nigerian culture, she is considered old, and their parents are very much so involved in your wound and do too much. I think the best example would be Dr. Wendy on Potomac. Her mama do too much, be in her business, always around. It really do be like that in some cultures, and Nigerian cultures is one of them. Not with every Nigerian, but I mean, hell, they live over there. I don't know if Ashia has like problems having kids or something. If she does, it really doesn't help, but they are very invested in her uterus, like overly invested. Oh my effing gosh, I just found it and I saw him licking his tongue and simulating sucking the head of a microphone like it was a penis. What in the world? Now, when you said sexual stuff, I would think that he's trying to be sexy for others, like maybe for women. Okay, Rosh. Olivia says it's so weird. Isn't he straight? So why is he doing that? I think he may be open to gay for pay. Guess he got to get his parents out that tent somehow. It's scarring. Oh my God. I cannot. I don't understand what Rosh is doing. I am not going to look. He can keep it. Why is this happening on TikTok? Rosh is the pinky doll of Turkey. There, I said it. My God. Next thing you know, he's going to be stuffing his face with hot dogs. Now, maybe when I get paid, if I get my paycheck, maybe I'll go up on there and give him $20 to eat like 200 hot dogs. He could be the pinky doll of Turkey. Just the hot mess express. It's weird. It's very weird. He probably is gay for pay because I don't think I could pay my husband to get on the internet and pretend he is sucking a microphone like a penis. He might actually look at me like and put me out. The trauma. But I guess TikTok just let you do things. Lord help us. Now, we gotta get to nasty ass Shay and Annabelle. Annabelle had me hollering this episode. Annabelle really had me chuckling. Now, he's hungover and she's up cleaning up everything. She was very sweet to him, but he irks me. Now, he wakes up drunk as hell and they go to church. I'm like, wasn't y'all just partying the night before? Now y'all are going to the church? Oh my God, I feel like I'm going to have to take Benadryl. I'm having an allergy attack on the internet. I have the worst allergies, you guys. I'm supposed to have allergy shots, but I have Kaiser. They suck. I just recently switched to Kaiser for my medical coverage, and they're terrible. So while I'm waiting on Kaiser, I don't have my allergy medications, and I can't get shots. And so I cannot breathe. And so, oh my God, my eyes itch like crazy. I'm just trying. I'm also allergic to cats and dogs. I do have a cat. I love animals, but I am allergic to them. I know I'm doing it to myself, but I'm not getting rid of my cat. He's 14. I've had him since I'm not getting rid of my cat. But I cannot breathe, y'all. My eyes are going to start swelling soon. So if I look crazy, that is why. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I have tried Zyrtec. It does not work for me. Allegra does not work. I'm never Claritin clear. I'm also allergic to all of the trees that are in California. I am also allergic to dust. I am also allergic to grass. If I go on the grass, my legs turn red and I break out. Like, I don't know why it's this way because I love to be outside. I love to hike. I love to do things outdoors. And I cannot breathe. I actually cannot breathe. Like, I feel like I look like I smoked 10 blunts and I am sober. And it's the tickle in the nose right there, and then my eyes water. So I apologize to those who are like, why is this bitch sniffling? I have allergies year round. It's really bad. The weather in the Bay is on crack. So I'm doing the best I can, y'all. I'm doing the best I can. Oh my goodness. TikTok is not paying like they used to. My younger sister is on TikTok. She is monetized on there. She has like, I think 40,000 followers, maybe more now. Naima travels on TikTok, but she told me to check in all of that. And she's trying really hard to monetize on YouTube, but she said it's harder on YouTube. I was like, really? I don't like that Shay be treating Annabelle like she's his masseuse. That irks me. That irks my absolute soul. It probably is the cat. It probably is the cat. I can't get rid of my cat, y'all. I can't. I got air purifiers I can't get rid of the cat. I can't. That's okay. My dogs have had it awful, and I've been giving them Zyrtec. Oh, poor doggies. I take Allegra one a day, and that should be working. Not for me. Not for me. That's what I be doing. Vicks does work. I hate the sound like the classic person, okay? But Vicks and Robitussin fix everything. Vicks Vapor Rub does work. I also recently learned, because I had a mosquito bite when I was out of the country, and I could not find Benadryl, but I was able to find Vapor Rub, and Vapor Rub helps with bug bites, the itching, it lowered it, and all this stuff. So I was like, Vapor Rub got multi-uses. Let me find out. But yes, Flonase don't work for me either, or Nasonex, or what is this one called? Azolastine, some sort of spray they prescribed. It doesn't help, and then it makes everything I eat taste bitter also. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm just a lost cause, y'all. I can't breathe. Never have. But I'm still happy. I just sometimes be looking higher than a giraffe's coochie because my eyes puff up. But that's okay. That's okay. You need a fucking oxygen tank when you out there hiking and stuff. I know. I always wonder, like, I sneeze a little bit, but I really think I'm more so allergic to this doggone cat. That's probably what it is. Can you go into a walk-in and get the meds or go to the hospital? Nope. Nope. Not with Kaiser. It has to be Kaiser. They won't cover it. Count your fucking days, Kaiser. With a smile. I say that. I hate Kaiser, y'all. I cannot lie. I hate it. And it's okay. It sucks. But honestly, I'd rather deal with bad allergies than like something more serious like diabetes or high blood pressure or like actively like being allergic to foods and stuff. Like, I don't have those problems. I always try to find like the positive in the bullshit. Otherwise, I'd be crying and melting. Okay, like Alphaba and Wicked. But Shay, I appreciate you guys. You guys are so sweet because y'all really just troubleshooted everything the doctor would. So call yourselves Mrs. Best Nurse for the day, because that y'all really touched me. It could be because I'm coming off my period and I'm overly sensitive, but y'all so sweet. Please send it, AB. I'll take any help and suggestion that I can, because a bitch can't breathe. And it's my dad's fault because he is the same way. He is the exact same way. And my dad actually did the allergy shots for 5 years consistently, and he still can't breathe. And so he was like, they just took my money, Poopa Snoopa, they took my money. I still can't breathe. But my dad does say Allegra works for him. But he takes like a special Allegra. So maybe I'll try Allegra again. I don't think Mallory married him, Shani. I don't think Mallory married Rosh because he's back in where he's at. He's back where he's at. I don't. I appreciate you, AP. They go to church, but before they went to church, she was rubbing his back. He looks like he stinks. Like, do you ever look at someone and you feel like if they roll over on the mattress, there's going to be a smell and you'll have to change the sheets? It looks like Shay stinks. I just have to say that. But after he gets his little back rub and she cleaned up the mess that was made at his house for the party, they go to meet Allison's church. I forgot the name of it, but Annabelle's not. Ooh, now I'm getting hiccups. Lord, Annabelle is not happy to go to his church because Annabelle is a devout Roman Catholic. I don't know what a Roman Catholic is. I've heard of Catholic. I'm not Catholic. My husband's mother's side of the family is from Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to anybody in the Chi. And I did not know until I got with my husband and they were throwing water at us, Catholic church here in Oakland, that they were Catholic. I had no clue. So I don't know much about that religion. But I didn't know there were like denominations. Is Roman Catholic different from like just a regular Catholic? Like, you know how with Christians, there's Protestant and Baptist, Lutheran, like, is Roman Catholic like a denomination of, I can never say the word, Catholicism? I hope I'm saying it correctly. Like, I don't know about the religion. Anyone who is Catholic, feel free to explain it. The most Catholic thing I've done is go to church on Easter, and they baptized us by throwing water at us with a little brush. And I had a friend, my very, very good friend Antonio, passed away a couple years ago. I believe it was 2022 or 3. And he was Catholic. So his funeral was Catholic, and it was like a whole process. So I don't know much about that religion. It's basically the same. Roman Catholic is the original name for Catholic. Okay, that makes sense. We do have a huge Filipino community here in the Bay Area, and a lot of them are Catholic. My good friend Nevin is originally from the Philippines. He was born there. So I was like, how does this work? Is it different? But Annabelle and them get to the church. Allison was ready, and it seems very important to Allison that they all go to the same church. It's a non-denominational church, which is the churches that give like Joel Osteen. I would say that's probably the best example of a non-denominational church, a big ass church. But I'm sorry, Annabelle. I love you, baby, but you were rude as fuck in church. That's not okay. You don't need to be religious to be respectful. Now, Annabelle was in church and things are going okay at first, but she just seems like really into her religion, not wanting to change it. And she sat there, but the first thing she commented on was the folded chairs, which I noticed too. And I said this, and I'm not trying to be mean. Please don't put me to hell, Lord. If you want me to sit through the service, you better make sure that my ass is comfortable. Them chairs did not look comfortable, but they look like they're a new church and they're just getting started. They're doing what they do. I was surprised to see Shay goes to church based on how he acts. What happens at the lake stays at the lake, barber. I want to get married, but I've been acting single. Like, his daughter has babies out of wedlock and all this stuff. So I was surprised to see them so into the church, but hey, at least they go and they have God in their life, I guess. And first she insults the chairs. And then Annabelle insulted the preacher. Then she was asking how long the service would take. Then she was like, is it almost done? Then at one point she said, oh my God, we're praying again. I said, Catholic or not, why are you mad at prayer? Who gets upset and annoyed at prayer? Annabelle, please. Please, Annabelle. Why are you getting mad at prayer? And at one point she fell asleep in church. I said, Annabelle, you can't just be falling asleep. Wake your ass up. You cannot do that. You're not going to sit here and say you're a devout Catholic and then not be able to have respect for another form of religion. I just don't understand that. I feel like you have to give respect to get respect. If you want them to respect you as a devout Catholic, then you need to respect their church. And even if you don't, take the religion seriously and are just a visitor at the church, you still should behave with respect. And I did not like how she wasn't respectful. I just feel like that's not okay. But Allison was pissed off because at the end of church, she's like, I felt like you were a little rude, Annabelle. And Annabelle kind of was like, oh, well, you're a brat. And Allison didn't do too much. She just kind of walked away. But Allison, this is your daddy. He will always be your father. It is weird that you think that your dad having a woman is going to take him away from you. Until you can explain why you're doing that, I'm going to call it out. Separately from that, I just don't feel like you have valid reason to do this. It's weird. The whole relationship is weird. But Annabelle and Allison was wrong. You don't have to share the same religion. I didn't like how Shay is like making it seem like Annabelle just has to play along with whatever they suggest. I don't know. It's giving he's treating her kind of like a mail order bride or something, and I don't like that. Annabelle's facial expressions are funny as hell, and I'm watching the season for them. But at the same time, it's kind of like, girl, you can't go to nobody's church behaving like that. Like, that's not okay. That's not okay. The Mormon temple, one of the biggest Mormon capitals in America, is here in Oakland. It's beautiful. Now, most of the people from the town, the locals who are not Mormon, listen, don't judge us. We go up there because it's got a view of the whole Bay Area. It is beautiful, and we smoke and sip and drink and kick it at things. But when they have their services, you'll notice a lot of the locals will not like be in the way of their service. Like, you don't have to believe and follow a religion to be respectful. So I hope everybody understands that. But honestly, if we're being honest, we know that Annabelle didn't care. She looked miserable in that church. Annabelle, go home. Go home. Go home. Go home. Because a non-denominational church means they're just reading the word from the Bible. They're saying some uplifting words, and they're praying. Prayer is something that, in my opinion, is universal. When you're praying as a Muslim, yes, there are certain times of the day that you pray, but you're still praying for like good fortune, to be well, to live right. If you are Jewish and you're praying, you're still praying for good fortune and to be well and to be okay and to be blessed. If you are a Baptist Christian or a Lutheran Christian or a Mormon, you're still paying for that. Or a Catholic. So though the religion was different, she should have leaned into the prayer and been a little more positive. I think Annabelle is just over it and doesn't want to do stuff with Allison, but she didn't want to say that. And even though Allison is problematic, that's still his daughter. You got to deal with it. I thought they did pray, but she didn't. Oh, no, they did pray. But she was like, we're praying again? It's like, girl, you're at church. What you expect? Not that church looked like a TED Talk. I've seen, there's a lot of churches in California that look like that I've seen. And I don't per se care for them, but, I don't know. I just don't get too mad at church. It's like, at least they're trying to do something right. He looked like he smelled like spoiled milk that's been sitting in the car. You are correct. He does smell. That's why she constantly hosing and scrubbing his ass down. Annabelle was rude, though. She was doing the most with her face. She was, Olivia, girl, she was rude. She was rude. I would never. I'm not Catholic and have been to a Catholic service on behalf of my husband's mother. I was not in there rude. I prayed. I closed my eyes. I stood when they told me to, sat when they told me to. Like, just follow what everybody else is doing if you don't know. Or open your phone like I did when I went to a Catholic funeral and Google it so you understand how you should behave, what you should wear, and how it works. Like, be respectful to religion. But let's be honest. That's the problem with the world, not just America. People think that their way is the only way, and if it's not their way, they get fucking disrespectful. You can have a difference of opinion in religion without being rude. So, Annabelle, do better, because that was rude as hell. Rude as hell. It was also funny, though. Even still, she could have been more open, but Catholics are known to be strict, especially devout ones. They be strict with everything except when it comes to them little kids getting touched on. I said it. Cancel me. I don't care. Cancel me. I'm not the one that went and investigated what's going on in them churches. So hopefully, it's that. But you can be strict and still be respectful. Like, if she was a strict Catholic, I would expect her to like be respectful of the prayer, but instead she just seemed like agitated as hell with it. That's holy water. They were blessing you. Okay, I figured that because it was Easter and they had announced something, and my mother-in-law was like, they're going to bless and baptize you or something. I didn't quite hear what she was saying because some lady next to me was talking to, oh, it's your first time, and was just a chatty Cathy. And then I looked, and for those who do not know, obviously I'm Black, right? I had my hair out. This is rare that my like natural hair is out. I had a cute silk press. That man threw water on me and walked out the church with a fro. I said I wasn't prepared, and then he smiled. But it was a cool experience, and that church was beautiful. Catholic churches are beautiful, beautiful. That looked like one of the new school churches that moved week to week or month to month, and in the summer they have outside service under the tent. I was watching something. I can't remember what this was years and years ago, and they had church outside on a lake. I think it was what was that show on Netflix? It was based in the Ozarks. I can't remember. Jason Bateman was in it, but they were in the Ozarks, and one of the people had a church that was like in the Ozarks on a lake. I thought that was pretty cool. She could have been nicer. She definitely could have. She could have. They were buck drunk, Shay flirting with, and the same people want to go to church the very next day. Maybe that's why Annabelle was looking at them crazy. They're hypocrites. Clock it, Olivia. Clock it. Clock it. And that daughter is flip-flopping on Annabelle now since she thought that she would run after what she told the daddy. Yep. I think Allison, at first I was like, Allison's doing okay. But now that we're continuing on, I think Allison was just banking on the fact that what she would tell Annabelle would cause Annabelle to leave her dad. I think it's weird that Allison wants to keep her dad all to herself. Allison, go date someone so you can find a man to pay for your life outside of your dad, because he ain't gonna live forever, boo, especially how he eats and drinks. People that act one way, getting drunk, flirting, cheating, then want to go to church, like why even bother? Not like they're applying it. That is common here in California, no shade. I have tried a lot of churches, and I've even gone like to non-denominational. I've gone to the mega churches. I've gone to the Baptist churches. My problem with all of them was the people. Everybody lived like hypocrites. And that's when I think it was my dad's wife who was like, the Lord is in you. Your religion is in you. Pray and have your own relationship with God. You don't have to go to church to get into heaven. Church is man-made. And I was like, thank you. I appreciate that. So that's what I do. I pray often. And I try to live my life right. However, I don't have drunken lake nights like these people. At least not no more. In my 20s I did. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. In my 20s I did. But not no more. They got married, so I guess she likes it. She must like him. Like, we did see some of the affection in the morning with them, but I don't understand Shay and Annabelle. Then she showed her ex when she asked Shay if he prayed for his ex Nicole. That pissed me off. How are you mad he prayed for somebody? Like, what's Annabelle's issue? He doesn't seem involved with Nicole, even though they have a young child together. He doesn't seem involved with Nicole, but it seems like he's involved with Nicole when he's drunk or, feeling the libations of the spirits that he's drinking, should we say. But yeah, Annabelle could have been nicer, but I also think this lady fed up. She came to Kentucky and it's just been BS and lie after something being exposed. So she's probably fed up. She's fed up. I can't be mad at Annabelle. That's still my girl, though. I still love Annabelle. I'm still on her side because I think Shay and his daughter are more problematic than Annabelle. And I'm kind of glad that they're married just because I know that it irritates Allison. Just because it irritates her. I'm happy they married. Y'all, but that was it. That was it for 90 Day. I was very entertained this episode. I don't. Please figure it out. Please figure it out. Please figure it out. But we will be back again tomorrow. I'm going to be having a video drop. It is the finale review with me and James for $1 Million Nannies. So be sure to tap into that. After that, do I have anything on Thursday? I can never remember if I have any shows on Thursdays that I cover. I can never remember. I feel like something is slipping my mind that I will have to cover. My brain is blank, y'all. But I will have tomorrow the $1 Million Nannies review out. There are some new shows that I'm going to be adding, you guys, from TLC. Let me get on my little notes because y'all don't remember nothing. Fightland, a new show by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, a.k.a. the guy who gave us Power, is premiering on July the 31st. I will be covering that show. So let's get to know the show together. Put a Ring on It comes on the Oprah Winfrey Network. I will be covering Put a Ring on It Cheat Hab. It looks so messy and ignorant. I can't pass it up. I'm not going to lie. We just going to talk shit on the internet. I have decided not to cover Little Singles. I can't get into it. So I'm sorry, Shani. I tried to watch it and get into it. I can't get into it. And the other show I'm going to be adding is coming August 9th. And one of them is coming August 7th. One of them is age appropriate. It will be on WeTV. The other show is going to be on TLC. It's called The Double Lives of Suburban Wives. It does look interesting, so I'm going to give it a try. If there's anything you see on an app, let me know. A lot of the shows I cover because people suggested it to me. I appreciate my subscribers. I'm nothing if y'all don't watch. So don't be afraid to send me a DM or leave a comment of a show you want me to cover. 9 times out of 10, I will watch it. I will give it a try and I will cover it. So tap in, tap in, tap in. I appreciate y'all. We will also be on James's channel on Thursday to go over, why is this show slipping my mind? Next Gen NYC. So be sure to subscribe to Watch Your Mouth Reviews. Let's get our comments before we get on out of here. Allison low-key keeps her dad drunk. Girl, call it. Olivia, I love you. Where have you been? You just blend in so well. I love it because I agree with this comment. She does keep him drunk so he could lay for her friend and her partying and probably get money out of him. Yep. I didn't like how she said at one point in the episode, she was like, she had made a comment about, oh, I got my drinking buddy back. Why is your dad your drinking buddy? Now, don't get me wrong. My dad, I went to Vegas with my dad for when my little brother turned 21. And, you know, my little brother, he had a torn ACL that just had surgery. He couldn't have a lot of fun. When I say my dad and me was in the casino while everybody was asleep, my husband was asleep, everybody was asleep. Me and my dad was in the casino drinking together and smoking. But that is not a normal thing that we do. And he'd be like, don't be expecting this all the time. And he'd be like, and don't tell my wife. She doesn't watch this channel, so I'm good. But, you know, it's okay to have fun with your dad, but I think it's weird. Like, my dad has a wife. I don't care. She's cool. Shout out to Kathy. My dad's wife is the same name as my husband's mom, so we do get confused. There's too many Kathys in the family, but Allison is weird. There was a freaking tornado over my house. What? In New Jersey? Shit, you live in New Jersey. Are there tornadoes in New Jersey now? Oh my God. Shani, Lord. I'm assuming your house is okay because you got internet connection, but my God, tornadoes scared the fucking shit out of me. They scared the shit out of me, tornadoes. Because with hurricanes, them scare me too, but I know eventually things go away. And if all else fails, Mrs. Best can swim, okay? I can swim. But when it comes to like tornadoes, and I don't mind. I'm from California, so obviously I don't mind an earthquake. I live on an earthquake fault. Okay, we get earthquakes all the time, just a little shaky shake. But a tornado, that shit is wild. That's the Gemini anger. Lord, I'm glad you're okay. I'm really glad you're okay. It was raining little pieces of hail. The hail in New Orleans scares the crap out of me. I remember being a little girl and it was hailing so bad we had to pull over on the side of the road. The window cracked. It was like a thing. Like hail, lightning scares the crap out of me. I'm weak. I actually had a psychiatrist tell me once I had a phobia of lightning. I was like, a phobia? What? Thanks for joining, and Replay Gang, hit the like button. Please do, Replay Gang. You guys do matter. Oh, you couldn't get into Little Singles either. It looked promising though, Shani. It did look promising. But I do have all of the apps, you guys. I now finally have access to Peacock, thank God. And I'll have my Married at First Sight review on Friday because it says the episodes are going to be coming on Thursdays. And James says he will be back. Dead Double Lives of Suburban Wives. I definitely want to see that. Ooh, wait. Oh, wait. Thank you, Olivia. Thank you to AV. Thank you to Shani. I appreciate all of you guys. I'm just going through the comments before we get out of here because I hate to ignore anybody. There were freaking tornadoes in New Jersey today. Absolutely. Shani, my God. My word. I'm glad you're okay. We don't get them too much in California. we got like there's been like a handful in like many years, and it's usually like in the valley, like Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, like out around Yosemite. Like it's never like where the populated areas are. Because I don't know if you look at a map, most of California is like all the main cities and stuff along the ocean and stuff, unless you're in the mountains, and then it's like Reno and all of that. But ooh, I couldn't. Tornadoes my worst fear. Not get in the basement. Oh hell. OMG, the screenshot of Ross trying to down his microphone keeps showing up on my social media. He has definitely gone down on a man before. Poor Mallory, because Mallory seems sweet. Mallory seems sweet. To have to deal with somebody sucking microphones off for money on the internet is crazy. It's actually insane. Hot Mess Express. Listen, I see the movie Twister 20,000 times, so I know what to do in a tornado. They made a remake of Twister that I actually liked as well. I love to see a tornado movie, though, and I'm oddly obsessed with the Weather Channel. It's actually my favorite channel on TV. Don't ask, y'all. Don't ask. I'm weird. I almost majored in meteorology when I went to college, but I was like, this is too much of a commitment to my nerdness. He had to do something to get them extra tips out there in Turkey. Oh, Rosh. Well, we leave you with this review. Check out Rosh's TikTok if you're interested in scarring yourself and seeing a straight man suck upon microphones. But other than that, beautiful people, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I wish y'all a good evening. Don't be afraid to DM me or hit me up. And I will see y'all next time for the review. Shout out to our moderators, and I'll see y'all next time. Good night.